I am back. So sorry about that. I had technical difficulties. Um, as you know, being virtual means that there's a lot of stress on the internet, and right now, it seemed like the internet was just a little bit out of control in my area, the internet usage. So I went down for a little bit, but I was able to reboot everything and we're back up. So I was talking about virtual meetup support groups, and then I was talking about tools and handouts that I've compiled. So I've got the Facebook Small Business Resilience Toolkit. I have a mental health and self-care toolkit. There's coronavirus resource kits. There are, this is actually going to be super important for small businesses. This is a way to track your financial losses and related expenses. And this is not only for small businesses, but it's going to be super important for any freelancers. So if you had a bunch of gigs lined up and you're not sure how to kind of show that you've actually lost the income from these things, you can use this spreadsheet and put in, the dates of, when you were supposed to start this. Let me see if I'll put this on full screen so that you could see it a little bit better. Like, you'll put the date of engagement, who your client was, if you had a contract, when they canceled it, if they postponed it, any expense that was incurred due to it. This is going to be super important. So use this spreadsheet if you're a freelancer and you've lost gigs, or even if you're a small business that is in a service industry and you've lost gigs. Tech resources are super important right now. It's so important that I actually have a second column for it of just remote office and worker resources that I've compiled. So make sure, we just had a tech issue. Make sure that you have a way to get back up and keep going and keep running, and that you've got your resources in order as far as tech is concerned. So there's also stuff from another favorite business of mine, Crom, which I don't know if many of you know this, but I was really unhealthy and really out of shape. And Crom is the reason that I am in shape and healthy right now. And they actually put out a Corona stress management guide. So check that out. It's super cool, and it'll give you kind of a blueprint on how to beat stress. And that is something that we're all looking to do during this time period. Another thing is, if you are a procrastinator, Smash Self-Sabotage Workbook. So this is also from an amazing coach that I work with, and that is a client of mine, and she compiled this workbook to smash self-sabotage. And it's a 5-step guide to really help you, take that self-sabotage, that procrastination out of your life and really get things done today. Get the things done that you need to get done. So take a look at that workbook. There is, for small businesses, you're going to want to use this. This was actually shared by my Goldman Sachs connections, and I recently, last year I graduated from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and coming from that program, I have access to this network of alumni and Goldman Sachs network. And this was something that they gave to us in order to kind of figure out some financial forecasting so that you can help figure out the cash flow, the cash that you're going to need to maintain your business in the coming months. So you could take this Excel and use that for yourself. Also, if you want to do a forecast, you know, that's another great thing that you could do for yourself. And then what I'm offering is the creating your blissfully beachy budget, and I talked about it a little bit before, but that is going to be really important for you to set a budget for you, set a budget for your business, and stick to it so that, you know, this is something that doesn't take up your life and money and put you into debt. Because that's not how, you know, that if it has to happen, it has to happen, but it's not the way that you ideally want to get through this pandemic. Another thing that I've compiled is this remote office and worker resource. So we're working digitally. We've gone virtual in most of these cases. A lot of these businesses, I know even mine, like I do a ton of work virtually, but I still had an office and my employees were going into the office, and I had to figure out really quickly how I could have them work from home and do it safely and make sure that all of my client data was protected. So these remote office and worker resources are the things that I used in order to ensure that. And I feel really comfortable right now about my team working from home, and I know that they are still being efficient because I implemented all of these different things. Something that I have implemented since the beginning of my business is, and once I got employees, was this software called ActiveTrack on my computers. And this allows me to see where, you know, it even takes screenshots during the day of what sites are being accessed, and I can actually I can stop actions from happening. So if let's say somebody were trying to download software onto my office computer that would compromise the computer, I can actually force quit that and not allow them to download software onto the computer. So different commands, or I have a policy where when you walk away from your computer, you have to make sure that the screen is locked so that no personal information is showing. And so I locked that that the screen goes to sleep after 2 minutes of people not making any movement with like the keyboard or the mouse. So I locked that so that can't be changed. It's all these different kinds of things that you can do with a software like that. And then you can make sure that like client information is not being emailed to a non-work email, all of those different things. So these are all the remote office worker resources that I have compiled. Another thing is, if you're doing really well and not everyone is suffering during this time period. A lot of businesses are doing really, really well during this time period. If you were selling surgical masks, or a friend of mine has a business selling gloves, well, they weren't surgical gloves, but they were, latex gloves. She did really well during this time period. There are volunteer and charitable opportunities that you can do. Pay it forward. Just this weekend, I was part of a group that donated money and bought pizza for different hospital workers. So there are so many, like, people are doing GoFundMes and crowdsourcing, but this was done really basic, just a WhatsApp group and a Venmo account. And hey, I bought these boxes of pizza and I did it out of my, like, I did it. But if you want to be a part of this, then just Venmo me some money. And not only did we end up paying for that pizza, we ended up also, out of a small WhatsApp group, being able to fund an additional pizza delivery for next week. So these are all ways that you can give back, and it's about, like, small donations, making sure that you're not donating so that you're in jeopardy, but keeping the flow going and keeping that karmic energy, keeping it positive and surrounding yourself with that. I know I said I have this support small businesses tab, and these are all businesses that I work with, that I know personally. I know that they are small businesses, and they are doing, different virtual offers for this time period. There's everything from virtual yoga, acting coaches, fitness, the virtual scavenger hunt, virtual experiences, life insurance. So I'm actually going to stop by this life insurance, because I was sent a question recently about life insurance, where somebody asked me if life insurance companies are allowed to not pay out because of COVID-19 related deaths. And I actually reached out to Kathy Ryan, who's my insurance agent, and she was able to help me with this question. And she said that if they're doing that, that there has to be something specific in the policy that's allowing them to do that, and that she knows for sure in the New York life policies, there is no language that would allow them to preclude a payout because of someone passing from COVID-19. So if you want to talk to her about life insurance, if you need information about life insurance, she's available as well to help you with questions. She's also great at finances, and we've always connected on that level. So she's someone that's really good and that you should speak to as well. Then I've got, like, resources and fun for adults, resources and fun for kids, and then even international resources. So I've actually started to compile a list of international resources as well, because some of you know, but some of you don't know, I am stuck in Europe, and I have been stuck in Europe for several weeks now, unable to come home to New York City because it is super dangerous, I feel, to travel right now. So I've been, I'm staying in place until, the curve, we get over the peak a little bit and it's safe for me to come home. So one of the things that I enrolled in was this Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. And I know that there are some other people that are stuck in different places internationally. I know somebody who was stuck in Guatemala recently, someone who was stuck in Mexico. So if you're watching this and if you're listening, I've got resources for you too. I'm stuck in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So one of the first resources that I found, an international resource, was a City Made by People lockdown list, which is all about stuff in Amsterdam. So I'm really excited and happy that I could share this this resource board with you. Please let me know if it helps. Please let me know if there's anything that you want to see that's not there, if you have any technical difficulties with it, if you've got any questions, if you want to be featured on the board, if you know, virtual meetups, if you've got a toolkit, if you are a small business that wants to be put on this board, because you can use you could use some extra help, some extra business, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm here for you. And again, any questions, I'm here, and I am happy to help you. Have an amazing night. And well, actually it's only 4 p.m. over there. It's 10 p.m. here, so I'm like in a different 6-hour time difference, so it's a little bit. But have an amazing rest of your day, and I am available for anything that you need. Have a good night. Bye-bye.